Want to build a massive chest, you have to stop expressing it right now.
Welcome to Heinz Seniors Coaching Up. Get access to the P3AK High Intensity Training ebook and its exclusive video tutorials. Commit with Heinz's coaching right now and be provided with a year of meal plans, training programs, and more. www.p3akday.com. There is no room for the littles.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of Live With. I'm Dave Palumbo, and I'm joined by Erin Banks today, who had a rip-roaring season in 2021, and we're going to be talking about his 2022 upcoming, I guess you could say, tour he's going on, because he's planning to do a lot of shows. Erin, welcome back to the show, and congratulations on the big 2021.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me again.
Yeah. Now, you turned pro back in 19. 20 was kind of a wash for you. You got COVID, and tell us what happened. Everyone seemed to have a bad 2020. What was going on there?
Yeah, so after I went pro, I went on this, I need to let my body recover and rest. And to be honest, I got too comfortable and let my body go, was eating whatever I wanted to eat. And then COVID ended up happening, and I ended up catching COVID and literally didn't do anything in 2020.
How bad was the COVID when you got hit? I mean, how many days were you
I was
out
down
for?
for like 2 weeks, two and a half weeks, actually. And I didn't go to the hospital, me being a man, like, I'll be all right, But you know how we do. But was in the bed just resting. And then from there, I got better and literally just went to playing video games all day and just eating whatever, and that was pretty much my life in 2020. And I'm sure you've seen, and I'm sure the world has seen this transformation picture that I've been posting. And
it's on your Instagram,
It's been a real journey. And
let me ask you a question, because did you get depressed? I mean, I would have to imagine you're kind of like, we're really climbing the immense physique ladder. And and then you get really out of shape. I mean, is there like a depression that goes along with that?
Not really a depression, just like it was just more of like an I don't care type of thing. Like, okay, I got my pro card. Okay, who cares? They gave me I caught COVID. Okay, I don't really I'll get better, and eventually I'll get the fire lit again. And it did. And in September of 2020, I ended up contacting my coach, Ariel Cutts. And from there, we went to work, and we had my first show in, I think, April of 2021. And that really kicked off my pro tour for my first year.
Yeah, because you hadn't really had a pro debut yet, right?
Yeah, I didn't do anything, and Houston was my very first show. Right. I went pro in 2019.
Were you nervous going into this, because you had the year off, and it's kind of like, I guess you have to, you had a long diet because you had to lose a lot of body fat. I mean, was it like nerve-wracking, or were you like, man, I'm ready to go now, I'm hungry for this?
I believe I wasn't nervous. I was just more anxious than anything, because I knew I had a unique physique, and being on the taller side and having a back that I do have. I was just more anxious than anything, not nervous. I've never really been that type of guy to be nervous to go present what I've worked so hard for, you know what I mean? So it was just more anxious, just butterflies, just ready to get on the stage. And once I did that, boom, we just started climbing the ranks, like you said, especially with being in the pro league. How
tall are you, actually? Because you are one of the tallest guys up there.
I'm about 6'1.5", but I'd just say 6'1", because who cares about a half? I would say 6'2", but I'll let Raymond have that one.
Yeah, what do you weigh on? What do you weigh on stage when you're getting up there nowadays?
For the Olympia, we were 225. Okay, we're about 225 on stage.
That's some good muscle on that body.
That was one of my best looks thus far, and we're definitely aiming for something even crazier. Come March. So
I'm gonna ask you about that in a minute. So 2021 Salt Lake City, you were second. You were second at Houston, and then at Pittsburgh, I believe you were third. But that was a stacked lineup. That's Jim Manion's show, and then you showed up in New York, and I don't think anyone was expecting it. You won that show, and New York Pro is a great title to have. What did that mean to you, that win?
That meant a lot to me, just because it was that third prestigious show, and me and my mindset, how I move around is I've told myself I want to be the best ever in this division. So what I want to do is I want to go from the top 5 shows and win them all. From the Tampa Pro, if the Tampa's the 5th,
right?
Pittsburgh Pro, that's the 4th. Third, I have a New York Pro, the Arnold Classic, which is coming up, and then
which you're in,
doing what I got to do in December. So it's.
You know what? I believe, you were an athlete in high school. We talked about this in the previous interview. Football, track, I think basketball. So you have that like athletic swagger about you. Like, you're very confident in yourself and your abilities. Sometimes a lot of guys don't have that on stage. And I think that comes from, once again, playing team sports and, obviously winning at that level. And so when you get up there, you get into that, that mindset, I think, and it clicks. A lot of guys are afraid to compete multiple times a year. You're kind of like a Andre Ferguson type. You want to hit all these shows, and you're not afraid to get out there and keep dieting. Is it because you seem to get better and better from show to show, or is it just like you want to just, you love it so much you want to just get out there,
One, I love competing. Like, I'm not afraid of nobody in this league. I want to be the best to ever grace this division. I want to beat everybody who's at the top, compete with everybody who's at the top, and just be one of the greatest. So
when you look at your physique, what do you think you need to do to get to that point? In other words, where are you shining and where are you lacking as far as you feel at this point?
I would say my best trait is my back.
Get a good waist.
For sure. And now I believe one of my, would say a weakness would be just a fuller upper chest, which we've definitely put a whole lot of new tissue.
I was gonna say, it looks pretty big to me right now looking
in
at
that
it.
area. So yeah, it's there. Like it's there. So we've worked tremendously hard. We've really been pushing the food. I mean, we're 8.5 weeks, and I'm eating about 450 grams of carbs right now.
That's
so
awesome.
We're staying pretty full and lean at the same time. Right. So it's I would say just the fullness on stage, being fuller all around, would be a thing for me to be the best and the greatest ever.
Yeah, no, you definitely have a great structure. You're very similar to Raymond, the big wide clavicles, small waist, and I always tell people it's really a journey, and you almost can't put too much pressure on the process, because as long as you're making progress in the right direction and you don't have any injuries, I always tell people their upper limit is limitless in a sense, and I think that's how you see yourself right now. I mean, you really haven't been in the sport that long, so it's amazing the progress that you've made already. This is not an insult, but I want to just ask you this, because I always ask all the men's physique guys this. Do you train legs like as if it's another body part?
Absolutely. Okay. I have a specific day, which is usually my Fridays. Right. And then, I've definitely trained.
You do all the squats and leg presses. You train like as if you were going to, train.
Absolutely. I got a couple leg videos on my Instagram.
I wanted to say that because I see you have legs. I saw you doing some bent rows. And I'm looking at his legs. I'm like, wow, this guy could probably do classic if he ever wanted to,
Yeah, everybody says that when I post these leg pictures. And I'm like, I gotta tackle and at least give me a couple titles in this men's.
There's always time, right? There's always time
before I venture off to something else.
Out of curiosity, what would be your weight limit in classic? You ever check it for your height?
I don't know. I believe, because when I stood next to me and C-Bum, I think I'm probably a little bit taller than him.
Oh, so you can gain a lot of weight still.
But I think his cap is 242, right?
Something like that. You're probably
or
like
232 or something like that. So I mean, that would be insane for me. And what's crazy, somebody photoshopped some legs on my body.
Oh, really?
and tagged me in it, and I was like, oh. That's not a bad look. That is not a bad look.
You got to envision it first before you can make it happen, right? Yeah, there you go.
Absolutely. So that kind of sparked the brain a little bit. But I'm a men's physique guy, and I like I said, again, I want to be the best. So if I got to be the best, that means I'm going for 5 or 6 titles. So
that sounds great. So now you got the Arnold Classic invite, obviously, that's coming up in March. And what do you have slated on your tour, so to speak, of the 2022? Are you going to hit every show, or are you going to just do the ones you haven't won?
So right now, when I posted that, I didn't talk to my coach or anything.
No? Okay.
I was just saying, I was like, look, this is what I want to do, and I feel I would love to do a show every time there is one. So I said, let's run a gauntlet. So there's the Arnold Classic. A week after that is the Boston Pro, which I'm already going to be in shape.
Yep.
So why not?
Sure.
And then there was a Golden State. I think the Golden State Sack show in between. And
which is where you live, right? I mean, you live yeah.
So that's like 2 hours from me. So
might as well hit that one,
drive. And then the New York and the Pittsburgh Pro. I was already doing both of those shows. Okay. So why not, throw those other two in there? So we'll see.
Well, like I said, Andre Ferguson did it for a couple of years. He was hitting almost every show and winning most of them too. And so, I mean, you could collect some serious cash, if you do that, which is nothing wrong with that, I always tell people,
and I just don't want. I just don't want to be one of why is he doing this show and why is he doing that show? It really doesn't matter.
No one asked Flex Wheeler what he was doing. He was hitting major shows and
come and compete.
Dexter Jackson was collecting the money. Show me the money. Dexter would be there, man, and that's what it's about.
That's it.
You got a small window of how many years you can earn money, and so I think if you can win a show and you can get in shape easy, then do it.
Absolutely.
So, all right. Well, look, it looks like you're on the right track. You got a great coach, Ariel. And I go way back. I know he knows what he's doing. He's got in good hands. And you got our good friend Tennille Ray, who's helping you out, right, with the suits and everything. Chula.
Yeah,
Fitness.
her shorts are phenomenal.
And her and I know each other for 100 years.
Nice.
And so you're in very good hands. You got a great team over there. Do you have any sponsors you want to plug?
Yeah. So actually, I'm working with Celsius right now.
Cool.
And also I just signed with Global Formula Supplements.
Awesome.
So the Global Prez, shout out to those guys over there.
Great.
And my Flawless Tan people, I love them a lot. They get me nice and marbly on stage. And then I'm also sponsored by Young LA. So yeah,
what's Young LA? I don't even know what that is.
It's like a street gym clothing brand.
Okay.
That is real popular, especially out here and in the fitness industry alone. So
that's the hat you have on?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. And what's their website? How can people get in touch with them?
I think it's youngla.com. So Perfect. It's just young and then la.com.
Excellent. Well, I want to wish you the best of luck at the Arnold Classic coming up in March, and of course,
thank you.
The whole litany of shows you'll be doing after that. I hope I can interview you after each one. So that'll be
right.
Great.
Hopefully, let's pray on it.
We'll see. I predict good things from Erin Banks in 2022. I think he's going to make a big impact on that Arnold Classic and Olympia stage. So great talking to you. If you have anything you want to ever stop by, don't hesitate. We'd love to hear from you, and I love the story. It's a real, right now, so far, it's a good Cinderella story, especially with what you overcame. And if people want to really check it out, go to his Instagram. We put them up, a few of them. The fat pictures are incredible. The fact that you came from that. And that just goes to show that you're human. You don't walk around looking like this all the time. You have to diet. You have to put the work in. And when you do, you get the results you get. And that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. So I just been super consistent, and just real disciplined.
Mm-hmm. No, that's what you got to do, man. Like I said, that's the mind of a champion. So. Right. All right, guys, that's going to take us to the end of another episode of Live With. I'm Dave Palumbo with Erin Banks. We'll see you next time. Cool.